7,000 Entergy customers without power right now. Entergy saying that there is spare equipment on hand just in case. Speaking of St. Charles Parish this morning, of course, I-310 is really the main focus right now with that multi-vehicle crash and ice shutting down portions of the Hale Boggs Bridge that we just told you about. And St. Charles Parish deputies, they're out in full force right now, making sure that people stay safe.
And St. Charles Parish President Matt Jewell, I believe, is with us right now. Mr. Jewell, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's a lot going on for you all. So right now, as you're waking up and you're dealing with the situations, what's the biggest thing that you're dealing with this morning?
Well, obviously, for all of our residents and our commuters, not only in the parish but in the Bayou region, the river region, is the closure of the Hale Boggs Bridge. Obviously, we know that there was an accident up there earlier this morning. 11 people were transported to the hospital with minor injuries. And so getting that bridge back open is critical for our residents to be able to commute. But otherwise, we're seeing ice that is accumulating on like metal surfaces, for example, people's vehicles, metal steps, other benches, things like that. So we just want residents to be safe this morning, take their time. And we're hoping that we can get that bridge open very soon.
Now, you mentioned the ice on the bridge, Parish President Jewell. How much ice are you seeing? Are we talking like a few centimeters, an inch? Could you describe what you guys are seeing up there?
I haven't been up there myself. State Police has been, and State Police and DOTD have been the ones who are handling the situation on the bridge. I know that State Police felt that after the accident happened, and DOTD wasn't able to tend to the bridge during that time, that some ice did accumulate and that conditions weren't safe enough to keep it open. It's a unique bridge. You can't put salt on the bridge. We have to use sand on the bridge. So, getting it back open is critical. And I think that once the sun comes up and that DOTD can get out there and inspect it a little bit closer, hopefully we'll get it back open.
This sounds like this could be a ways away. You said the DOTD has to go out there and inspect it and see if everything's okay. So is there even a time frame of when this bridge could possibly reopen today?
I don't have anything at the moment yet. I know we're working closely with DOTD to try to get a timeline, but obviously that's fluid with the temperatures where they are and the temperatures being even colder when you're up on that bridge. It may take a little bit longer for that ice, if there is any still up there, to melt.
Now let's talk about some of your other major roadways, Parish President Jewell. You've got Airline Highway, you've got areas along the River Road. Are you seeing any other ice conditions there, especially for a lot of the folks who have to go and work at many of our plants there along the Mississippi River this morning?
Yeah, DOTD has determined that all of our river crossings are critical, and there's a couple other elevated roadways, such as the Davis Diversion, that are part of the critical infrastructure, which they are working as hard as possible to always keep open during events like this. I have not received any reports yet of ice building up on any of our surface streets or any of our other elevated bridgeways, but residents should drive as if there is ice on the roads. Obviously, if there's puddles that have frozen or anything else like that, that could cause issues for motorists. So we're just asking residents to drive this morning and take their time as they're going into work and drive as if there is ice on the road, just to be safe.
And Parish President Jewell, I got to ask you this too. You talked about the advice for folks who need to go out there on the roadways to maybe go to work or do what they need to do this morning. But there's some folks out there who don't really have much to do, but they're still going out there on the roadways. What is your message to them this morning?
Yeah, obviously I know that this is a unique situation. We don't get this kind of weather very often. And so people are naturally interested to go out and see what it looks like, what it feels like, and maybe get out on the road to go, somewhere. And I would tell you that if you're not commuting to work or going out to check on, maybe your elderly neighbor or someone else in your family, to just stay off the road if you can. Obviously, with the conditions as they are, and the bridge being closed, that's obviously going to create backups in other places, such as the Huey P. Long and the Crescent City connection. All that traffic that would go over the Hale Boggs is being diverted that way. So we just want residents to stay off the roads if at all possible, and enjoy this weather from the comfort of your own home and yard.
Now let's talk about some of the other resources that you have available for families. Off topic of the roadways this morning, do we have shelters open? Do we have things for people if they lose power, if they need a warm place to go? Any resources for their homes?
Yeah, we do have a warming shelter at the St. Charles Parish Community Center. That's 274 Judge Edward Dufresne Parkway. That was open last night, and we will have that open again tonight. Otherwise, we do have businesses open, so we ask residents if they need to get into a warm place to go visit a coffee shop, they can go anywhere where there's warmth. If they need a place to stay overnight, again tonight we will have the warming shelter at the Judge Edward Dufresne Community Center.
Parish President Matt Jewell, thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us that update on the conditions there. We'll check in with you throughout the day, and of course, I know your office really does a really great job of keeping us posted. So again, thank you so much.
And we're also dealing with some more issues on the roadways. We have you covered from a lot of things happening all across Southeast Louisiana to keep you informed and safe, especially on the roadways all across the area.
Yeah, Aubrey Killian is now tracking the Causeway commute and also the shutdown of that bridge for us this morning. He's joining us live right now. And Aubrey, kind of talk about that commute getting there and what you're seeing on your way to the Causeway Bridge.
Hey there, Randy. Good morning to you. So right now we are at Veterans and Polk in the Lakeview area. We are headed to the Causeway where we were on the interstate I-10 a couple minutes ago. So far, we didn't see any accidents. We did see a lot of state troopers out monitoring the area. We did see some of the cars pulled over, but traffic on the interstate was not bad. But again, right here at Vets and Polk along West End Boulevard, not seeing a lot of cars out this morning, obviously with school canceled. You can see some of the cars next to us, they've got ice on their